Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining me for chair yoga and meditation. I'm in my new Florida location, so this is literally where I reside here in this household, and it worked out great. I thought the space accommodates me perfectly, so I'm glad I can still offer this. Okay, so when we begin, I want you to check around your space and see if you can find a wall that you could utilize so that you can stand next to it. We're going to weave that in at the beginning here just to check how it feels to be lined up with something that's kind of pressing right into your back and how what that means about right alignment. So just kind of scope it out. All you'll need to do is hear me. You won't need to see the screen in order to participate in that. But for now, let's begin our traditional transition time, Um, Sitting tall in the chair, coming forward on the chair so you feel yourself differently. You're not letting the backrest support you, you're relying on your own strength. Block between your thighs is always useful. And hold yourself upright, engage the belly wall a little bit. So it just feels like you're just taking your um, normal um, way when you're not really paying attention much up a level, upgrading that to a place where you're very mindful of how you're holding yourself and being present in your body. I'm sticking with, it might be getting a little boring, but I'm not kidding. I do a lot of guided meditations in my daily, weekly practices that I do. I listen to a variety of teachers, and many of them are using this three-part breath just consistently. So I'm just going to follow that lead. So it's that three-part breath where you start with the belly wall and then you move it up into the diaphragm, which is at the base of your rib cage. And I'm going to throw it out while I'm thinking about it. Remember that the base of your rib cage includes the back. So when you're coming into that, trying to feel yourself into your body, don't forget it encircles that lower rib cage. The diaphragm is all the way around. So don't keep yourself in this little space right here. Like this is what I'm following here. Try to get broader about that. That you're three-dimensional. You're allowing yourself to feel the breath in a more three-dimensional way. So I'll use the language of belly, diaphragm, and clavicle to designate the three layers. And then we're going to do something a little bit different where we draw that in with three layers of breath. And then we're going to take one more sniff, one more like, whoa, I'm just really topping it off by drawing one more breath in. And when you exhale, don't let yourself sink back, like get back into neutral. Let that breath, that elevator, you know, motion that we've used to raise up, keep you propped up. So even though we're going to do some repetition with this breath, don't lose the posture that you've created with each breath. Okay. So be mindful of that you're keeping yourself up as you let that exhale drain itself out of it. Let's use this image that release of the exhale is your chance to let go of stuff you don't want to carry around, mostly probably mind stuff, thoughts judgments, stuff that you just wish you could let go of. Or it could, or it's stuff in your body, that there's just this chronic tension or whatever it is that you can really easily access. I want to let go of that. Let that be, the image we use for our exhalation process. Okay, so that three-part breath is going to help us in our transition. So we start up nice and tall as we sit. Inhale belly, inhale diaphragm, third level, inhale up to your clavicle. One more sip. Let that breath come out any way you want to. Seep it out of your mouth and let go. But keep yourself propped up. Inhale belly. Inhale again at the diaphragm. Clavicle. Take a sip. Release it all, holding yourself in good posture as you really release that exhale completely. Now, I'm no longer going to coach. Let's do it together, following your own lead. Don't forget the sip. Three-dimensional experience of your body. And let go. One more. Beautiful. Let's lay our palm over palm right there at the sternum. This is considered the heart space. And just bow to yourself now, just letting your chin drop down towards your own loving heart. Thank you for, being here, for being willing to practice, for this space that you have to do it. All the things that show up for you. When you say the words thank you, what is it you're thanking? For what? For you. Thank you. Just conjuring up this attitude of gratitude. All right, let's begin. We're going to start standing. So up against the wall. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do is meet me, if you can, with your heels right up against the baseboard, and you're in mountain pose. So you've got your feet about hips distance apart. Let's pull the belly in, and you got to tuck your tail a little bit so it makes room so that you can get your shoulders back there. Because if we have our real arched back, then our old butt, is kind of keeping us from the wall. So kind of tuck your tail just a bit so you can bring yourself right up against that wall. Soften the knees so they're not locked, and you can feel the back of your head pressing into the wall. You can feel your bottom. I'm just reciting what I feel. I can feel my bottom. I can feel my shoulder blades, my head, and my heels. I can't make a contact for in this body. I can't feel my legs against the wall. It's okay. Just notice what you notice, and really work on lifting your chest up now. So you're trying to press those shoulder blades against the wall and feel it in the front body. That as you press the shoulder blades into the wall behind you, you can feel more space around your lungs. Let's just do a few breaths here. You're just breathing a full breath in, followed by a full breath out with the wall supporting you. Like I said earlier, it keeps you honest. This is right alignment in the body when we're standing up. This is the posture our body was designed to hold. How about that? And to be encouraged, I always I like to assign value, as you know. The value that we want to remind ourselves of is when we hold our body in right alignment like this, everything functions better. All of your internal organs function better, your blood flows better. Just think of all of the metabolic processes in your body functioning better because of your mindfulness. Notice your feet. Just kind of get curious. Feel your feet to the ground, like you're making an imprint, and that your toes are also making that imprint. Let's do 2 more breaths. Just 2 more breath all the way in and out. Exhale completely. Great. Okay, and then you can come back where you're near your chair. We're going to just still stand for just a little bit longer, and we'll get back to our seated postures. Let's get the arms in motion. So I'm going to turn to the side every now and then. Notice, I do that. Don't move with me. Just we're moving our arms, and I might choose to show you a different view of it. So it's sort of like the swimming stroke, and I'm starting off in slow motion, but I don't want to stay that way. I want you to see if you can start working your speed up where you're moving. I just naturally find a little bounce of the body. I'm just kind of bending the knees, but we're really winding those arms, round, and there they go. And it's as fast as you feel comfortable doing. How about that? We'll use that. You're going to go as fast with this as you feel comfortable doing. Notice how your breath is keeping up. So you don't need to stare at the screen. You keep paying attention to your body as you swing those strong arms as fast as you're comfortable doing. And it doesn't take long that you start to feel the tiring. They start to get, they get tired with this. Well, you're warming up the body. You're really getting your blood flowing here. All right, simmer it down, simmer it down. Back to our mountain pose. Now we just have to imagine the wall behind us and just allow yourself to feel your breath now, because it's going to be, we pumped it up, didn't we? You're going to feel like, okay, that was a little cardio workout. And feel it in your shoulders as we just add some shoulder rolls. You're just allowing yourself, the breath is, finding its way back to a slower mode. Good. Let's open and close a little bit. So we're going to open up into the goddess shape with our arms. The elbows bent, arms are held up at the height of our armpits. Open, pull back so you can feel those shoulder blades move. And as you exhale, let's round through the back body, round through that shoulder area. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Full breath in, full breath out. Oops, I took a dive there. Last one. Now we're going to change the movement of the arms to the backstroke. And this time we're not going to go quite so fast. And I want you to turn, allow your head to turn, and you're following the way your shoulder is taking you. Again, I'm just noticing what I'm doing and share it with you in case it appeals, is that there's a little bounce for me. I soften the knees. I feel kind of a little rhythm of this, and I just let that be. Good. Stay with me now. Take the foot that's to I'm making this complicated. Take your left foot and turn it away from center. So you're just taking your left foot, turn it. And so that arm is going to follow it into this T. I think we did this the last time we met. So we've got our foot pointing out, and there we are in this T shape. Bring the foot back to neutral. Palms are together. I've got my palms together overhead. The other foot is going to turn away from center, and you turn in that direction. So let's find a flow with that. You got to be able to move your feet as your arms do. And don't be sloppy with the way you're holding your arms. Keep them held strong in a T, held at armpit height. One more on each side. Beautiful. Palms together overhead. Inhale with me. Exhale, bow at your heart. Inhale up. Exhale, go all the way down and around. And now we're going to find ourselves in our chair with our block between our thighs. Now, believe it or not, I'm going to ask you to scoot back a little bit. Scoot back so you have more of your legs being supported by the chair seat. Just for now, we're going to scoot back a little bit. I don't want you to lean against the backrest. We kind of need that space, but I do want you to feel like you have more support for your legs and buttocks. So let's just get that. Feel your feet to the floor. Squeeze that block. Hold yourself in right alignment. See if you can imagine when we were against the wall, how that might feel right now. Pressing your head, back of your head into that wall. Trace the breath. Three-dimensional. I think that is kind of a good tip for us, that we're trying to realize our breath in a more three-dimensional image instead of just like this flat movement through the front. Good. And then hold on to the chair, and I'm going to suggest the back of the chair rather than the seat. I don't know what chair you've got, but if you could hold the back of the chair, maybe kind of low toward the seat, that would work. But see if you can hold that so that you can lift your feet up. And bend the elbows and lift the feet up. And the feet have to spread the toes. So when you lift them up, you're spreading your toes. I'm going to turn. Don't you turn. You keep at it. Okay, lift and hold. Watch me for a second. Lift and hold. And then I'm just going to try to lift up my feet and my shins as much as possible. Hold yourself wherever. You might be holding the chair in any different way. You might hold on to your legs. But I want you to drop your chin in towards your throat. Almost like you want your chin to touch that little clavicle area there, the pit. Excellent. Let's come back down. Take a little pause. Squirming around a little bit. And then we're going to just lift again. However you're holding, you get the idea. If your low back doesn't like this, then I say mess around with this. I think you need to go higher, honestly. I think it's going to help you to get your legs up higher. I think if you're taking too much of a baby step, it puts too much pressure in the low back. That's just my theory. We're going to do it again where we, just like we did before, lifting up, trying to get our shins to come up a little bit more, holding yourself wherever you like, letting the chin really drop toward that throat pit. One more full breath, big breaths now. Good, and then we'll bring the feet back down. And we're going to lose the block. I want you to take a little wider stance. Hands are going to be on your thighs and start circling the pelvis. So the hula hoop of the pelvis. In case we strain that low back, in case the low back just needs a little more TLC, I think this is just the ticket. And change the direction anytime you want, but be sure you do it at least once. And we're going to limit it to just the pelvis moving. Let's not get up top. We're not going to circle the upper body and the shoulder area too much. We're going to work this through the low back area. Excellent. Let's get our fingertips to our shoulders now. So we've got these little wings, and we're going to draw some things, circling in and around. And then just take one elbow and do some circling around, just like, well, I don't know what she's talking about. Like if you were just drawing, you had, some kind of a marker on your elbow and you're trying to write your name or something. You're just going to see if you can move that around in a very nonlinear way. Let's switch to the other elbow. And notice how your body and maybe your head and neck just sort of kind of goes with it or not. Just notice how you're doing it. And, oh, what's my neck doing? How's my head? Open and close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Elbows come together, and we're going to take those joined elbows and come down to one thigh and come back up. Open it up. Close them, and they come back to touch the other side. Remember, if your hands and wrists don't like this, you could make a soft fist. You could just hold your hands freely. The hands to the shoulders is not necessary. Try two. Stay with one side, and you drop down twice, and then you come and do the other side. And we'll do that, another set like that. And let's spring that loose where it feels like you're pressing your palms against the sides of the either side of you, the wall on either side of you. Like you want the palm, the butt of your hand to push out, and your fingers are spread apart. Your hands feel very stretched open. Breathe in, breathe out. Push your feet to the floor now. So everything, your limbs are pushing out or pushing down. Deepen that breath. Beautiful. Now let's feel how letting go is. So we're going to release those arms so slowly as we release the breath, and just notice how it feels in the body. This great experience of letting go. Excellent. I'm going to bring my feet a little closer to hips distance apart. If you like the idea of the block between your thighs. Oh, and by the way, we are no longer back into the chair. We're forward. We're kind of more our traditional way, closer to the front of the chair. And let's begin our cow and cat. So I'm going to drop the arms alongside the frame of the chair and pull back. And as I do so, I'm tilting the pelvis, feeling the arch of the back body that we call this cow pose because it's an extended spine. It's very extended in the back body. There's a lot of activity out my window. I'm sorry, I keep looking over those birds and butterflies. All right, now we got that one figured out. Let's get our hands on our lap, knees. I like it, knees. And then you tuck, 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 tuck the tail and feel the roundness. The low back area starts to just give up its arc, and you're rounding through that into a C-shaped curve throughout the whole length of your spine. This is, of course, our angry cat, our cat pose. Let's do our vinyasa of cow and cat now. Follow your own rhythm of breathing. And try to bring yourself into the mindfulness of the body's feeling, the sensation. Not, am I doing this right? But you're very curious about how it feels today. And where could you enhance it? Maybe expand a little bit more, kind of challenge yourself a little bit more. Next time you're in the cat pose, rounding through, I'm holding onto my legs right around the knees. I want you to do the pathway of the Mula Bandha, and that's what we always refer to as the work of the perineum. Again, if using your block between, I'm just going to do it. Why do I mess with it? The squeeze of the block is primary in this action. So that action of squeezing is exactly what we're trying to accomplish. If you can do it without the block, have at it. So I want you to squeeze on your exhale, like you're trying to suck that block to come in toward the root of your body. And then you inhale for the breath you need, get the fuel of the breath. And on your exhale, that's when the squeezing action takes place. And I feel myself lifting ever so slightly off the chair. It feels like that. And that's exactly the action I'm hoping to achieve. So I'm really toning that perineum. It's done on the exhale. So inhale just to get yourself the fuel and the breath that you need so you can extend the exhale long enough to really use those muscles that we're trying to tone. Keep them nice and strong to support our pelvic organs. Let's do two more. Excellent. Now keep that block there. If you didn't use a block, grab it again. And we're just going to lift ourselves feet up and move them to the side. So a little squirming around. I go center. I go to the side. Kind of this control that it takes, lifting up, lots of deep abdominal work. So if you found a different pattern than what you see me doing, that's fine. You get the idea. Notice how you're breathing. Notice that you are breathing. If you find a way to challenge yourself, please do that. And we come back to center when you're ready. Come back to center. We're going to lose the block. A little bit wider stance. Catch up with your breath. And as we catch up with the breath, we're rolling the shoulders, pulling them back and down. Stay with it until you feel smooth with your breath. Your breath feels easy. All right. I want you to just get your foot up like that. I just got both hands at the ready. One hand's going to grab the knee. The other one's going to grab the heel. Lifting up, lift, and then switching to the other side. Find your breath. This is a range of movement for our hip. We're just trying to get that hip area loosened up. Finish it up so it feels like you did the same on each side. And with your legs, with your feet on the floor, but your legs apart, drop one knee to center and come back. Drop one knee way down. So you can see how we're just moving in opposite direction in our hip socket. what we did before, we were lifting out, an external rotation. Now we're offering an internal rotation in the hip. And then make sure you're not going to slide right off that chair. So maybe holding onto the chair is a good idea. Let's do that round again, okay? Let's get our feet apart, our knees up, and we're going to lift up. A hand grabs the knee and a hand grabs the heel. And you just keep alternating, getting it up there and letting your nice strong breath keep you going. You're aware of that. You've chosen a nice strong breath to accompany you. Last one. So you've evened it out. Both legs did the same number. Hold on to the chair and drop that knee in towards center. I'm just sort of rolling off through the front of the foot. I imagine that's what you're feeling too. I just thought I'd put some words to that. Excellent. Let's bring our feet back to center and we're more in our mountain pose. Let's just sharpen that up. Bring our arms alongside the frame of the chair. Pull your belly in so you feel real strong here. Belly wall pulling in. Now imagine you're back against that wall. Push your feet like crazy. We really want to feel how when you press your feet, it gives you the power or the angle that you need to pull your shoulders back into that imaginary wall. Deepen the breath. Good. Straight arms, straight legs. Inhale with me and kick that leg straight out, keeping your arms close to your head and close to your ears. Right out in front of you, working within the frame of your chair. Nice strong kick. At a pace that works well for you. Let's do 2 more on each side. Each leg, and inhale up, palms will be together. Let's take a big inhale and then exhale as you bow at your own heart. Let's pause here. Resting your thumbs right in against your sternum. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just bring yourself back to that awareness of gratitude. Feel how powered up you are. To feel how the body is just so engaged with prana. That life force energy is active and it's a felt experience. It's not in the imagination. You know it's there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Inhale back up. Exhale, big backstroke all the way down and around. I'm using the block again. Let's get that up. So when we practice our getting up and down, we're keeping ourselves sort of aligned by the use of the block. And I'm going to do it a while. All right, we're going to do a few more of these. Good core strength. And we'll meet standing up. Inhale with me once again. This time, I've got one problem here is that I can't quite see my hands, but I'm holding my hands in the Kali Mudra, where your fingers, your index fingers are pointed out together and the rest of the hand is just clasped together. So inhale up like that. We squeeze the block. Open your heels a little wider than you usually do. So your heels are opened a little wider. Feel the ball of the foot, and especially the big toe ball on, and take a lean towards your left. That top arm particularly very straight and gliding past your ear if you can. Squeeze the block if you feel like you're not quite stable enough. See if the squeeze doesn't remedy that for you. And I want you to breathe now through that right side of your body. It's like you want your lung to breathe. You want your nostril to breathe. You're focused on that side of the body doing the breathing as you honor that energy, that masculine energy. We'll come back up You might need a break. I'm going to say, let's take a break. So we bring our hands down, open, close, open, close. Spread your fingers, play the piano, circle the wrists, all those things. Shake. Let's do side two. So we clasp Kali Mudra, just the index fingers are extended. Squeeze the block, arms past your ears. Breathe through this side of the body now, that elongated side. So you're finding your way into the left lung, that left nostril. So you're concentrating that that's the source of your breath. That's the source of your energy right now. Keeping hands clasped adds to the challenge. I'm just pointing that out. One more breath. Back to center we go. When you release them, let's come into that goddess pose, and we're going to open and close here. Last time. Letting go is slow motion. Take a pause, really feeling the letting go and encouraging that letting go. What needs to go, you want it to go. I'm going to lose the block. I got to check my time here, see how we're doing. Okay, good, super good. And let's move our chair so we've got the back side of it facing us. So I've got mine so that the back, and I'm a little bit limited in turning the chair a lot, so I'm going to leave it right here. Whereas sometimes I'll adjust it so that you can see me all sides. I'm going to trust that you can figure that out. So let's just start with our basic L-shaped stretch. You start walking back and you've got your hands on that chair, back of that chair, and you're really trying to straighten your legs as you create this right angle with your upper body and your legs. Press your balls of your feet, especially the big toe ball of the foot, into the floor. And then see if you can spread that connection back into your heel as well. Tuck that chin in toward the throat pit. And see if you can feel the length of your spine, that you're aware that you have this opportunity to really stretch through those back muscles, including, of course, obviously the back of the legs, but also the back itself, all the muscles that support your spine. Beautiful. Soften the knees quite a bit. And as you do so, you're walking toward the chair, coming upright once you are close to the chair again. Take a moment now to just let your blood pressure adjust. You're in your mountain pose. And we're going to do that twist we started with where we turn the toes out. So that guides you to the twist, arms extended at a T shape. Arms reach up, flip so the other foot is moving. Find the rhythm of your breath. Last time on each side here, there was one. Here's the last one, all the way up. Hands come back to the chair. Watch me before you come into it. Just give me the lead here just for a moment. We're going to come back into that L shape, but it's really about setting up for the movement of a straight leg and a rounded back body where the knee comes up toward the chest. So I'll tell you what, you want to be able to bend your elbows, hold that chair in any way that gives you support. Don't get rigid about your upper body. Move them, hold it so that your leg can extend straight back. And then we bend the knee and round that in toward our chest. And you're balancing on one leg. So this is, lots of things happening here. Strengthening that standing leg, and you're getting a lot of core strength with the movement of that swinging leg. Both feet to the floor. Turn so you can see the screen. I'm going to stay with the very same leg. So just watch me through it before you get your head down again. That leg will be extended. So that same leg That hand that matches the extended leg, that's got to stay on the chair, but the other one is free to float away from the chair. So now you've got an extended arm and an extended leg. Those opposite limbs have extended. See what you can do. Toes of that extended foot is pointing down. Don't let it point away from center. Point it down toward the floor. Hold it for one full breath. Get both hands on the chair and get both feet to the floor. And maybe you have to come a little farther forward now, and you're going to catch up with your breath and shake loose. Shake loose. Side two, other leg. Just kind of find your distance about how close you need to be to the chair. Extend that straight leg back. I got nice bent elbows. Round through the back body so you can bring your knee towards your face. Extend, round. You don't need to watch me. I know you got it. Find the rhythm so that you can really feel your full inhalation. You're aware of your full exhalation. And that standing leg is getting stronger and stronger, breath by breath. I think we can do it without a timeout. You take a timeout if you need it. The extended leg, that same hand should be the different side now. So hold on to the chair with the hand that's got the leg up so that your opposite hand is able to float. So you've got opposite limbs extending away from any kind of support. They're in midair. Hold it for one more breath. Get your hand on the chair, get your feet to the floor. I want you to kind of squat, get your feet opened a little wider than the width of your chair, heels in, toes out. And when you're doing it, it's kind of a dance. You're moving your hips side to side. If it hurts your knees at all, obviously stop doing what you're doing and see what you can do to stretch out without any problem for your knees. I say if you keep pulling your body weight away from those knees, you should be fine. Excellent. Let's turn our chair so we've got the seat of the chair available for us. Or move yourself. If you've got the convenience of that, all you got to do is move to another position. There you go. You got the seat of the chair available to you. Let's start with our tabletop. So I've got my shoulders over my hands. And just let me mention this in case I sometimes forget. Palms to the chair can sometimes be hard for your wrists. You can make a fist instead, and that really takes the pressure out, but that only really works if you've got a nice cushion on your chair. So just a tidbit. Let's take up that bent knee, really bend the knee and extend it away from center and make some circles. And I want you to turn so that your shoulders, you're turning to look at it. So it's a little stretch for your neck. These are big circles. When you're ready, you'll just come into a little squat to take a pause, take a little time. Little squat. Switch to the other side when you're ready. Turning your head, drawing some circles. Maybe you spread the toes of that foot, that just gets more muscles involved. Excellent. Both feet to the floor. Take that little squat, little time out here. Lift your chest. Can you feel the arch of the back body? You're in a cow pose here. You're in a cow pose now. You've got a real tilt of your pelvis. So now that we've got it, might as well finish it with our cat pose. So round through the back body, round, tuck the tail. Chin drops towards your throat pit. Let's try it again, that cow pose. It's like a little squat. There's a real arch at the back. You feel quite the curve in the lumbar. And then you round through the back into your cat. From here, it's downward facing dog. So we're just going to start stepping back. Arms stay real close to the head. You don't need to put a whole lot of weight into your hands. Your legs have you. You're real strong with your legs. See if you can really push in and try to straighten through the knees. Not so much bend in the knee this time, just for greater stretch. A little more stretch to the calf, a little more stretch to your hamstrings. You kind of have to choose it. We can get in a habit of it, it's good enough. Let's see if we can just give ourselves a little challenge to, let's see if I can stretch a little more today. Deepen that breath. Slowly now walk yourself back toward the chair. And when you come up, it's one vertebrae at a time. So you got to go very slowly. The back body is quite rounded. Keep your head down. And then you're just kind of bringing yourself to a standing position slowly but surely, one vertebrae at a time. And finally, the head lifts. And here we are back in our mountain pose. I'm going to use the chair for a balance pose, our tree pose. So I just wanted this high side of the chair. So you position yourself in such a way that you could even, be near a wall here and let that be your source of support. So the standing leg becomes the tree's trunk. So let's be very mindful that we're step-by-step process here, shifting your body weight into the tree trunk and the root. So all of a sudden the other leg starts to lose connection to the floor. I've got my heel up. And you can really feel how your body weight is shifted into the root and trunk of your tree. Rotate that knee out away from the trunk. So the sole of the foot can rest in the ankle area or right above it. Now see if you can lengthen through that standing leg. Don't lean into the chair with it. Try to pull yourself away from it, as a matter of fact, so your pelvis has to kind of shift so that you feel greater strength in that trunk. Find a drishti, find something to stare at with your gaze, and let your arms create the branches of your tree. And deepen that breath so you can feel this as a three-dimensional experience. You can feel your back body. You can feel all around those arms that have become branches. So the three-dimensional experience of what it means, what it feels like to be a tree, rooted in the earth, entirely supported, strong, stable. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice the breath all the way in and all the way out. Use the same kind of mindfulness to come out of it. So the tree branches come down. Both feet are on the floor. Shift your body weight. I always encourage you to have your standing leg near the chair, which means I'm going to go ahead and try to make that happen. Yep. Standing leg, the tree trunk is near the chair. And you shift your body weight. You've got your whole rooting and strengthening of that standing leg is part of what you feel, so that you can now begin the process of rotating your other knee away from center, letting the sole of the foot rest in the inner ankle or just above that. Now don't let your pelvis move toward the chair. Pull it away from the chair so you're squared away. And then you start weaning yourself from the chair support, finding a drishti. When you stare at something, it's a huge source of support. It's like an anchor, like something's holding you. And then deepen that breath. A three-dimensional experience. Exhale completely every time. mindfully come out of it. The arms descend, let both feet come back to the floor. Take a wider stance now. And I want you to just move. Let's call this nonlinear movement, that you are going to bounce, you're going to sway, you're going to do whatever comes to you as a way to reset the body. Eyes open or closed. You want to be very thorough. Where did you feel this work today? Where do you need to bring your loving attention so you can kind of like, okay, shaking that out, getting right with it. Good. And then we're just going to start moving now toward our Shavasana time. So time to get a drink, time to maybe get socks back on your feet. A cover for many of you. And get all the support you can. So you definitely want to scoot yourself into the chair so that you've got full use of the backrest. You've got your bottom and part of your legs as supported as you can with the seat of the chair. Definitely need your feet to the floor. So if your block needs to provide that contact, be sure you get that out. Don't let your feet just dangle. That's very unsettling, ungrounding for you. So I want you to be sure your feet have connection to the ground in some way. And as soon as you feel comfortable doing so, close your eyes so you can come into your private space. Even though you could be the only one in the room, the only one in the house, still, it's just this way of enclosing yourself into this sacred space that this Shavasana invites. It's the beginning of the meditation, really. I've grown to really love the awareness of the space that surrounds me. So I invite you to, as you close your eyes and you feel your body connected to the chair, which is great and very comforting, very, being held and supported. I love that too. But I've really grown to love the idea that not only is the chair supporting me, but the very space that I'm in, the very space that holds that chair, is also supporting me. So again, I bring you back to the way we began our practice with our 3-part breath, with those deeper inhales. And the part of that breath that I want to remind us of right now is the release of that exhalation, and how we were imagining that was an opportunity to let go of anything we would surely like to let go of, whether that be a problem that's just been haunting us and we can't seem to leave it alone. Our mind has to go back and over and over and over again, or, that we've had some problems in our body that have been also a part of our angst, if you will. And, we're just letting it go for now, just trusting that everything we need, we have right here, right now, in this space. I work with a woman named Tara Brach. She's one you can find. She is a meditation teacher. I value her as a teacher very much. She's nationally known. I've never met her. This is all online. Love her, have lots of her books. She uses this image that I just think is a wonderful thing for us to employ. It's a smile. She'll say such things as you sit in your meditation, imagine your eyes are smiling. The experience of your eyes, you brought a smile to your eyes. So the whole brow line softens, and there's this almost like you could, even though your eyes are closed, you can feel there's this sparkle in your eyes. Isn't that a wonderful image that you can bring a smile to your eyes and you feel it in your body and your mind feels it as a way of lightening up, where you don't feel heavy or concerned, you feel a lightness of being. It's the benefit of a smile. And I've offered that idea, maybe that it can be a smile in the eyes, but let's imagine that we could apply that anywhere. So let's say you have a lot of tightness in your hips or your knee has been bothering you. What about bringing a smile to a body part? You're just going to take that, kind of magic of what those upturned mouth does to our face and creates a lightness of being and a sort of joy that immediately shows up. That you're going to just use that and apply it where you need it. Let's see if I can apply a smile to, this particular area of my body. Maybe, you have belly problems, digestive issues or things that, chronic. And you just think, oh, I'm going to put a smile there. And then just simmer into your own breath, your very own breath that you just are entirely aware of. Soften your mouth, relax the jaw and the tongue and all the muscles of the face and the eyes. Notice the support of the chair or the surface beneath you and rest. Rest into that. Remember, this is for you. This is about you and it's for you. What I've offered is some suggestions. You may have a different plan. Your body may be craving something quite different. Follow that lead, that inner guide. I love the chant. I say it so often to myself. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. It's just an acknowledging the divine teacher within, right alongside the more greater mind, the greater intelligence, the greater source of love. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Noticing your breath, how you are breathing in from the space around you and out again into it. Breathing in from the space around you and out again into it. Resting. Feeling the calm and the ease that comes over your body. The calm and the ease that comes into your mind. Calm and ease of the breath. Share with you a thought for today. Keep your heart open. Keep your heart open even when you can't have what you want. It's easy to keep our heart open to life's magic and all its possibilities when we have what we want. It's more of a challenge and more necessary than ever to keep our hearts open when we can't have what we want. Even on the best journey, things happen. Plans change, things shift and move around. This shifting and moving causes doors to close, relationships to end, blocks and frustrations to appear on our path. For now, that is what we see. For now, what we know is disappointment. We can't have what we want, and it hurts. When that happens, our tendency may be to shut down, close our hearts, forget all we've learned. Keep your heart open anyway. Consciously choose to do that. Yes, you can go away, you can leave, you can shut down, but you don't need to. Now is a turning point. If you choose to open your heart, even when you can't have what you want, miracles will unfold. For now, remember this. Even though you don't have what you want right now, keep your heart open anyway. Later, you'll see more. You'll see how it worked out, how it needed to be just so. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale that out with a sigh. It's almost like a full body experience. Inhaling through the nose, and that sigh is complete. You can stay with that breath, that cleansing breath, as you start to introduce movement back into your body. If there's a stretch your body is asking for, be sure you include that as part of your transition. Eventually making your way to a place where it feels like you're once again seated in right alignment. Let's rub our palms together, generate some heat. And take those warmed up palms and lay them across your face, your eyes. Eyes are closed under there, and it's just like you've created a little space, a little cocoon for your face. And there you are. That's you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the benefits and blessings of this practice that are just right for you right now. There you are. And again, we bring our hands together and just rub, rub, rub. First, interlace the hands and stretch those palms right out in front of you, and then up and overhead. Take your inhale here and let that exhale just come all the way down and around. Hands will come together at the heart center. Good. We have ourselves in the prayer position now. Take a pause and a breath. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Namaste, my friends.
Thanks, Julie. Namaste.